There we go. Yay. So look at this. It's a fun surprise. We're actually together and in person on a Thursday night. Mostly because of scheduling. Because yes, that's life. But also because it's the perfect way for us to transition out of this experience of these real talk conversations and move into our summer offerings, and where you will get both of us like in person together each month in June, July, and August. So we'll talk about that more in a second. But this is really fun to actually be on the same couch, and like now it's giving me like, I don't know, podcasty like talk show vibes.
Definitely.
Like we need a plant or something. We need a plant behind us.
Over there, but it's way too far away. You can't
Yes, we need lights and a plant or something.
Yes.
Do a little Oprah action.
Yes.
So thank you as always for joining us for these real talk conversations. Tonight we just want to spend some time wrapping up. We have been at this since the middle of February, and it's been a journey, and we've covered some amazing territory, like in ways that I honestly didn't even anticipate being able to do. And so, I just want to take some time to reflect on that, as one does, and kind of talk about where we are right now and where we think we're headed in the near future. So, I don't know. Thoughts. Here we go. So first of all, a little bit of housekeeping. As always, we start our summer stuff June 4th at Art Hop, which is a big deal because it's kind of like the kickoff to summer, and we get to be part of that too. So that's exciting. We don't know our exact location yet, so it's going to be a little bit of like, where's Rowan and Erica?
Mystery surprise.
Yes, you got to do a little bit of looking. But we will be in the downtown area. There will be a table involved. There will be fun surprises, and hopefully our summer shirts will be here so you can really find us. I can tell you they are yellow, so you will not be able to miss us. And if you see 2 yellow shirts in close proximity, it's probably pretty much bullseye. Yeah, absolutely. Yep. So that's coming. Art Hop June 4 from 6 to 8. And then the following weekend on Saturday, you'll be able to find us at the farmers market. Same thing. That you will have to go to social media and find out exactly what our time frame is. Because
the 12th, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that is the 12th of June.
That face.
Yes. Yes, that is the 12th of June. You'll be able to find us at the farmers market. And then the following week, the third Thursday, right? We've been talking about the first Friday, second Saturday, and third Thursday for a few weeks now. But that third Thursday will be this, but together with everyone
in a circle outside.
Yes, we're so excited. We're just so excited to finally be able to be in community with you in this way after so many months of working hard to find ways to creatively connect. So we can't wait. It's going to be fantastic. Here's the deal. It is at a secret location. You have to pre-register in order to know where you can find us for those third Thursday conversations. And they only happen once a month. That's it. So you only have 3 opportunities this summer.
But there are plenty of spots. So don't be afraid like, oh no, registration is going to fill up, because we have space.
Yes, absolutely. And they are only live. They are not recorded. They are not broadcast to social media like you've been able to experience and catch with us. So definitely. That registration for June is going to go live tomorrow. You'll be able to find it in our link tree on Instagram. It will be available on Rooted social media as well. And I imagine it'll probably land on our website too, and Rooted's website as well. So rooted.org, redbirthgreen.com. Come connect with us. We love that. While you're there, maybe sign up for a newsletter.
Do that.
Because that's also a really fast way to always know where you can catch up with us, right? So that's a fantastic solution as well. And very, very easy and streamlined. We're excited for families to engage, not just with us, but with one another this summer. And outside in the community, exploring things maybe that you've never done before or that you didn't even know existed within your own backyard.
Because Kalamazoo was so cool, and there's literally so many awesome things to take advantage of and do, and a lot of them are outside and safe, and that's really exciting.
Yes, and I think there are a lot of organizations just like us who are so excited to be able to offer things to you this summer for you to engage with, most importantly in person and in community, but also in a really safe way. So lots of opportunities to the library. If you haven't gone and checked out anything this summer reading, they've got some really cool stuff planned. You definitely want to do that. Hint, if you do that, it's also going to help you along in your process of what we have planned for you this summer. There's lots of networking that's happening. So that's also feels really good and exciting as well.
Yeah, it feels like this summer, like for us and also just for the whole community, is really about like addressing burnout, like the burnout that has come with being stuck at home, not being able to see your people, not being able to be in community, and not being able to like get all of the support that a village provides, right?
Yes.
So
it's like emerging.
Yes.
Like how do we do this, right? I think I've been a part of a lot of conversations that sound a little bit like that. Like I don't know. I don't know yet what I'm actually comfortable with, or how I do this, or how we do this as a family. And so let us help, because we like to do that. And we really, I don't know, I'm excited about what we put together.
Me too.
So find us, find what we have for you and your family. And the best part is if you engage throughout the summer, in September, we have something very, very fun planned. Group activity, again, outside, safe, all of the good things that we've come to know and trust, to keep each other, healthy, and be in community at the same time. We are going to have a really fun time in September as a way, like this is a wrap up right now, and then that's going to be another summer wrap up. So yeah, I'm excited. It's going to be fun. I probably said I'm excited a lot of times.
But it really is going to be fun. Like when you said emerging, I was like, yeah, we've all been in that like nasty slime cocoon for like cooking like a little too long, I think. So it's time to
I think that's fair.
Fly.
Yes, it's time to get out and fly around a little bit. Absolutely. So yes, we hope to see many of you next week, and bring friends, because we love that too. We love growing the village in that way.
We do.
Yes. So that's where we are and where we're headed simultaneously. We're on the cusp, right? Also, I want to note that our office, if you are looking for us next week, we're actually doing a little spring summer vacay situation. So we're taking a break so that we can feel really refreshed and ready to come and engage in ways that we haven't in a while. We need to like rest so that we can come and flex that muscle, because I think it's going to take a little bit of getting used to.
Definitely.
So, definitely. So Rooted's office is closed next week, Memorial Day, all through that week leading up to our hop on the 4th. So just to note that as well.
Yeah. I'm thinking about our real talk conversations right now, and how like obviously we're not afraid to talk about stuff even on the internet, even where it's gonna like live forever, right?
Yes.
But like it's gonna be so different this summer, being in like real space, not recorded, like this confidential, like nurturing space where we can talk about even more stuff that we can't even talk about here.
Yes. Again, because there is a freedom. So like I love the freedom in this way, right? To be able to like have someone watch and connect with material and then click share and send it back out.
Yes.
That's fantastic.
Definitely.
And doesn't exist. But I love like this safety and of being in a space that's not recorded, where it can't just be clicked and shared, right? And so we can really cultivate a really lovely, brave space to like dig in together. That I think is what gets me like, can't wait.
Definitely.
And just to actually be able to like interact in conversation with one another in the moment, right? Instead of having to just like jump into comments or this and that. Like we've adapted, right?
It has been all about adaptation.
Yeah,
sure.
We have adapted our like the ways that we do things and how and in spaces. But I think it's time to start moving back into ways of being together and being able to talk and be truly conversational. So
especially considering how beautiful and sunny it has been outside lately.
I know this has been
get out there.
This has been lovely. So yeah, I'm thinking about these conversations this summer, and I know we always invite folks to say, like, let us know, what do you want to talk about? That's also true this summer, right? You've got more time in between to think about it. And I haven't gotten to a place yet where we've decided, are we gonna like have a theme, or are we
Right.
just gonna flow?
Yeah.
So maybe drop in the comments or shoot us a line and let us know what feels right for you. If there's something that you really would love to engage in a, a structured, loosely structured conversation in a, safe and encouraging environment, like we're here for that. That's literally what we do this for, is to hold space and challenge in that way.
And we mean that. Like, we really mean it when we say, like, please tell us what you want to talk about. Because, like, obviously we could talk, and we do on a regular basis for
Every
like
week.
hours and hours
Yes.
on end, to the point where my voice is like,
Yes.
you know? But so we can do it without your prompts, but like we really want them, because we want to be bringing exactly what our community wants to our community, you know?
And for it to be meaningful for
Yeah.
everyone that's involved. So quick reminder too about those live conversations. Like the only thing we're doing this summer that is an adults only space, or we're nursing babies. Just again, because of the nature of the material that we tend to like dig into and the depth that we've been able to achieve there. Again, also because parents need a space free, I think, of that a little bit, so that you can have those conversations and chat, right? We believe in nurturing you too.
Yes, and we're nurturing the whole family and the kids and everything with all of the other things that we're doing this summer. So like, I think it's really important that we're also cultivating
adults only
space.
spaces.
Yeah,
it is. I think it's necessary for this, and also to be clear, in just what I said, because I talked about parents, but these conversations, as with everything, are open to everyone. You do not have to be a parent to be part of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And as you know, our conversations are not like just centering birth. We've talked a lot about sexuality as well. And so, let's see where things go. But I just wanted to drop that note in there because I think it's important. I don't want you to think you're going to show up to a conversation to like go where we've gone in the last couple of months and like there's going to be, kids climbing all over and whatever. No, this is the only space where I actually am going to say no to that. So I'm all for the village and village care, and this is also
as part of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So I'm also going to say, I said it's adults only, but like if you have a teen who feels like they could benefit from or wants to be a part of that conversation, send them our way, right? With or without you.
Definitely.
That's
totally this is part of like the trust thing. Like we 100% trust that whether or not your team can handle whatever it is that we're talking about. So like, please. Yeah.
And I actually would love the perspective that their voices bring to the conversation because they have a completely different lived experience.
It's one of my favorite voices.
Oh, 100%. Really. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. So use your discretion. And we would love to see you. Just make sure you pre-register. So that you know where you can actually
and we will make that really easy.
Yes, it is super easy.
That if I'm going to spam anyone with anything, it's going to be that.
Yes.
So and even then, I'm not going to spam you. So
absolutely. Okay, so now I'm reflecting back a little bit. What was your favorite talk that we did in this series? That's such a huge question.
It's a hard question to answer, and like I know my like gut, like my knee-jerk reaction is like obviously the one where we talked about anatomy, because I love talking about that. That's one of my favorite things to talk about, especially the pieces of it that you don't see in a textbook, right? And like I love the anatomy, and also it's like what I taught in there is like one piece of the spectrum that is anatomy, rather than the binary that so many people believe it is, which it is not. Reminder.
Just scroll back, a ways back, and on the videos, rewatch it if you need a reminder.
Because I think we talked about that before we talked about.
Yes,
that was conversation.
Yes, we talked about the gender spectrum, right? And we dipped into that.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, totally. I loved that one, but I also loved the last one that we had, not last week, but the week before, where we just ended up talking about the nervous system a bunch, which I guess is again more anatomy. So like you can get a good idea of what I like to talk about.
Yes, but I know it's funny because that actually is probably because it's one of the more fresh conversations like in my mind right now. But I did actually, because that evolved really organically into a space that we did not even plan to go. And that I think is one of my favorite things about doing these, is that it does. There's usually an unfolding in some level. And so that one was really fantastic. And I actually, too, I really appreciated the conversation that we had prior to the anatomy conversation where we talked about the gender spectrum.
Yes. Yeah.
I think there's so
Definitely.
much growth that can happen once you start to unpack that and how you can show up differently, not just in community, but for your own kids, if that's part of your journey. And also for kids in your life, right? To be able to hold space for them as they explore that spectrum for themselves.
Yeah.
I think just, we're here to plant seeds more than anything. And so, yeah, we plant the seeds and then you get to water them and watch them grow, whatever that looks like.
Yeah, I'm thinking about like how that whole like 4-week series that we kind of did in April was all of that, right? Because we went through like the gender spectrum and the anatomy, and then it was about talking about like what does this do for the community to like open up these conversations. And I feel like that was a really awesome primer for like where we're headed now.
Absolutely.
To really like bring that to the community in a bunch of different ways. And that's going to continue to happen like past this summer too. Won't say anything more about that. Just like
a little sprinkle.
Yep.
A little sprinkle. Again, there's your nudge to like sign up because we'll probably talk about it this summer for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
I'm not going to be able to stay quiet for too long.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. So I guess let's talk about where we are headed loosely. I don't want to give away too much because we're still in planning phases for a lot of things. But I think one thing we haven't talked about in this space specifically is the Easy Access Clinic.
Yeah, I feel like we've mentioned it here and there, but
we've mentioned it.
Like
Cam and I did that live in the middle of the day.
Right.
And to announce it, but we really haven't talked about it. So it's probably time.
Yeah.
Because by the time we come back together, we're gonna be like right on the precipice of that. And so I want you to have an opportunity to ask your questions before it's like really happening.
Right. And it's not going to be time to talk about this. Like, I mean, maybe it'll come up in our Thursday conversations this summer, but like those are gonna be real dialogue.
Yeah.
So this is a good time to like
to just throw
keep
information
talking
out there
at the computer.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. All these weeks.
Yes.
So excited is not the right word. I'm not even
one
sure.
Of them, but there's like it's like, yeah. Like
whatever is beyond that. I don't know. Pick
Yeah.
a word that resonates for you. So Deep Green Easy Access Clinic is just innovative community care and holistic and nurturing and sometimes feels a little bit like almost like a utopia.
Yes. When we talk about it, that's what it sounds like every time.
I know. I've talked a lot. I've talked about it a lot this week, which is why words are not coming out of my mouth right now. With healthcare providers and people within the healthcare systems that we have here. And they're excited too, which I think that's what feels that brings up that utopian
Yes,
sense
it
for me.
Totally does. Because it's entirely possible that like a community could be doing something like this and all of the like the whole medical community within that is just not going to take it seriously and is going to be like condescending and whatever. And here it really has been like pure excitement
every time. And I'll be honest, like I was terrified. I was very, very afraid that exactly what Rowan just said is what I was going to be facing as I started to really dig in and share in depth about what this is and what it isn't and providing that education. And it's really met with almost all excitement and very, very little skepticism, which in some ways is almost scarier. Like
totally, it's shocking.
Yes, it was shocking. So unexpected that has been like, oh gosh, like, okay, we're really doing this.
Yeah. And it's not saying anything about the people in Kalamazoo or the providers in Kalamazoo necessarily. What it is saying is exactly what we talked about in another After Dark conversation about like the medical industrial complex and the history behind it, right?
Yes.
And like how much that carries forward and influences attitudes within the medical community, whether people are aware of it or not.
Yes.
Right. And the same way that systemic anything, homophobia, racism, all of those things work, like it's in there without people's knowledge. And so the fact that people have been like genuinely excited about this and the fact that what this is what we're doing with the Easy Access Clinic is a rebuilding. Like it's a complete rebuilding and restructuring of the way that we approach maternal medical care. And like that's revolutionary and really, really quite surprising that we're getting the kind of reaction from the medical community here that we are.
Yeah.
For that reason.
I know I've got spine tingles right now because it is. And I want to, like, it has nothing to do with the people within the systems. Like I didn't doubt the people. I doubted the systems being able to receive what we were saying.
Yes.
Because it is different and it is way outside of the box. It is so far away from anything that's expected or anticipated when it comes to pregnancy and maternal infant care. And so to just walk away from each encounter and have them be like, we're so excited about this. And also, this is also the really exciting part to me is what can we do to help make this the best that it can be? That part this is going to be true community care and like just being trusted with that. It's so humbling. Mm-hmm. I don't even know. Real. It's just so humbling.
Well, and like even like being like trusted in this way by the people that you've presented to thus far, like it's still important to recognize that for people who like being involved with that medical industrial complex is not an option and you're not interested, we are still going to also be an autonomous entity. And so it will still be just our care is also available, you know, and that's available through our doula care too.
Yeah.
But it's going to be even more accessible and widely available through this clinic.
And stepping into the clinical space, right? So doulas are fantastic. Our birth work team, like chef's kiss, like they know. I absolutely adore them, and what they bring to the table. And they also are limited in what they can do because we don't provide clinical care. Like it's not part of our role, right? We do a lot of things and offer a lot of support, but that's not part of it. And so stepping into the clinical space and being able to actually offer full spectrum pregnancy care, regardless of ability to pay, right? Like that is one of our core tenets actually to maintain our accreditation in this process is that we never turn anybody away.
Yes.
So, it's a game changer.
Yeah. And I feel like, I don't know how much clarity we've like given in this particular conversation, but just like emphasizing that this is a legitimate maternal medical clinic, maternal medical home, where there will be licensed care providers, licensed medical practitioners, and there will be community care workers and community health workers, so that it's like, it really is that like full spectrum care. It is that wraparound care that we always talk about.
I often, as I've been sharing throughout the medical community, I talk about how one of our roles with this clinic actually is to create a cohesive hub for communication and resources, not just for our clients, but also for them as providers. It's so easy for all of us to get in our silos and not know what the other is doing, which also stokes the fires and feeds the problem that we experience on a regular basis.
Because then there's all sorts of assumptions and fun stuff.
Absolutely, like that, right? And so for the community to know that whether it's because you need something and you don't know where to go, or a provider to be like, oh man, I actually don't know the answer, but I can go to Deep Green and they might be able to help me.
Right.
That's also part of it too. Because when we create situations for like really fluid communication and really cohesive care, everybody wins.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is the thing too that is just super exciting. This is modeled after a clinic that actually originated in Central Florida. I get really excited again when I talk. I get excited all the time right now. Again, innovation does that, right?
It does.
Like, innovation just does that. I don't know what else to say.
You see the things happening that you've been like thinking about and dreaming
about,
forever, for your whole life, actually happening, like here in Kalamazoo where we live. Like what? That's how it feels to me.
And not just that, even being able to like witness it, like we're actually like touching it and holding it on a daily basis. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
It's wild. So
I'm honored.
Yes, so honored. But the clinic, the original clinic in Central Florida, so they've been at this for about 7 years, maybe a little bit longer in and longer in other forms, but it's specifically the Easy Access Clinic. It's been in existence for about 7 years. And, we talk about in different settings the disparities that we see in infant death within the community, right? In case you don't know, Black and brown babies in this community die at a rate of about 2.5 times white babies. And that's just the fact. A lot of people don't know that.
That's down from 7
I was
in
saying,
the early 2000s.
Yes, I was going to say we've done tremendous work as a community in order to reduce that disparity by more than half. That alone is brilliant. And it's still 2.5 times, and that's a lot. And we still have work to do. Yep. And so here we are.
The goal is to close that gap all the way.
Yeah, so it doesn't exist.
More goals than just that.
But. Yes, but the exciting part of it is that in the Easy Access Clinic in Central Florida, they actually have eliminated that disparity for the families that they work with. So there's great hope that we can do the same. And the best part is that even if we don't do exactly the same, even if we don't eliminate it, we're still going to reduce it.
Yep.
Even more. And that alone is worth celebrating.
We can't make things worse.
No, absolutely. Like just by the nature of this model of care and what it brings to the table, things can only get better from where they are here. And, maybe an even larger dream is that we end up having multiple locations in this city because then we can serve even more people. I don't know. A girl can dream, right? A girl can dream.
We're like, well, these dreams came true. So
seriously, I never could have imagined at this point in time, right, that it would be happening a few years down the road still. But yeah, I'm just really pumped.
Yeah,
really pumped.
Yeah.
It's gonna be, it's just gonna be fantastic. That's all I can say.
Yeah,
it's gonna be excellent. And
excellent.
Yes, and further down the road, you will understand why that word is so important. Excellent is the name of the game, and it makes a big difference. Yeah. So, drop us a line if you have questions about Deep Green, if you want to know how you can be involved, right? Because this is a situation where it's going to take a village.
Yes.
Absolutely. If it's not with person power, it's with financial power, right? There are people who are doers and there are people who are givers. It takes all of them together to make things
100%.
happen.
Yep.
So if you think that this is an area where you might want to connect with us or volunteer, please reach out. You can do that on Rooted's website at rooted.org. You can also drop us a line directly using our contact form on our website, and you can definitely be a part of this movement because it's a pretty sweet spot to be.
Yeah, no, we would love to have you, and I think you would probably love to be here. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I don't know. The future is bright, y'all.
It's bright.
Yes.
It's much brighter than this last year and a half has been. So honestly, anything better than what it is bright, but this is
also true.
Such a quantum leap.
I think that's some of it too, right?
Yeah.
Is that this is all unfolded in the midst of one of the worst times that any of us have ever experienced in our lifetime, right? Yeah. And so to see it in contrast of that, this brightest light in contrast with some of the darkest dark, that's wild.
Yeah.
That is wild in and of itself. But yeah, it is very, very bright. And it all starts really, honestly, at Art Hop next Friday night. So with that.
Show up, be there.
Yes.
We'll be there.
We'll be there. Come find us. We would love to see you. We would love to talk to you. Even just come by and say hi. If you're not somebody who needs family engagement support, that type of thing, just come say hey.
Definitely.
Because, we love chatting with people about it. I usually have more opportunities because of the people that I interact with, but they're like, I don't get to watch them live, but I go back. I've watched every single one.
I love that.
Yes, I really love talking about this. And I'm like, oh, I'm so glad. It's so good to know. So yeah, just come say hey, if nothing else. And
look out for a specific location again on social media. We'll be making that super apparent because we don't have one yet.
Yes, absolutely.
It will exist. We just don't know what it is.
Yes, very soon.
Yep.
Very soon. Again, it is still COVID. Let's not forget, right? Yep. Everything takes exponentially longer. Yeah. And again, it's another form of adaptation that we have come to experience. I was going to say know and love. I still don't love it. I don't move at that speed right now.
I'm not quite there yet.
So awesome. So this is it for Real Talk. I don't know what it's going to look like come in the fall. We don't know.
We'll see.
Yeah, we don't
We
know
got
that
a lot
yet.
of work to do. We just talked
We
about
do.
this clinic. Like right now, it's us.
It's the
Like,
clinic.
yeah,
Yes.
that's what we're doing.
Yes. That's also probably why I was like, hey, if this speaks to you and you want to volunteer with us, please let us know. Because we will definitely take all of the extra sets of hands possible. For sure. It's a lot. And we are so honored and grateful to be able to do it.
100%.
So yes, come chat with us this summer. And otherwise, we'll see you when we see you. Bye.
Bye.